Greetings. I'm Kathy Green with Christian News and Interviews. You know, one of the greatest crimes of our century was that of Malcolm X. Not only was he murdered too young, he never saw the age of 40, but he was murdered in front of his wife and his children, leaving a mark on their memories that I can't even begin to imagine, the torment and the nightmares that they've had over the years. And so over the summer, I saw a documentary called Who Killed Malcolm X? And it was really interesting. I would advise you to find it and check it out. It may be on YouTube. Check it out. 3 men did do time for his murder back in 1966, but the truth of the matter is, we'll probably never know the entire story. However, a man named Ray Woods recently has come forward. Well, actually, he left a note because he's passed away. He was too much of a coward to come forward while he was alive, but he left a note to be read upon his death, and he's dead now, in which he indicated that he was a part in terms of the fact that he was an undercover police officer. And he said that the FBI and the NYPD were all involved in Malcolm X's murder, which nobody's surprised about that. But I'll just read a paragraph that says, without any training, Woods' job, his name was Ray Woods. Without any training, Woods' job was to infiltrate civil rights organizations, plural, and encourage leaders and members to commit felonious acts. He was also tasked with ensuring that Malcolm X's security detail was arrested days prior to the assassination, guaranteeing Malcolm X didn't have door security while the Audubon Ballroom where he was killed, at the Audubon Ballroom where he was killed on February the 21st, 1965. I have a question to ask. How did he live with himself for all those years? He was such a creep. I'm talking about Ray Woods. Such a creep, such a monster, that he sat there and wrote that letter telling people about his part in Malcolm X's death and the FBI and the NYPD, yet never said a word when he was alive. What a coward. And then admits that it wasn't just one organization that he infiltrated, but plural, did all that for money. And now he's dead. What good did it do him? As a born-again Christian, I have to ask the question, which comes straight from the Bible. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I'd love to know what Ray Woods profited, other than a few bucks.
Potentially explosive new information involving the assassination of civil rights activist Malcolm X 50 years ago today. It comes from the family of a former NYPD officer in a letter released after his death. And ABC's Zachary Quiche is at the Audubon Ballroom in New York City, where Malcolm X was shot. Zachary, good morning to you.
You know, Malcolm Little, Detroit Red, El Hajj, Malik El-Shabazz, Dan, you can call him whatever you like. Malcolm X was a fearless black man. It made him a prophet for some and a problem, a threat for others.
We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary.
He spoke truth to power and sought to liberate black Americans, free them from the rot of racism.
Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
56 years after Malcolm X was assassinated here in Harlem, new details have emerged. According to this deathbed note penned by a former undercover NYPD officer sent to infiltrate and undermine the man and the movement, The letter says both the FBI and the NYPD were involved.
Under the direction of my handlers, I was told to encourage leaders and members of the civil rights groups to commit felonious acts.
Ray Woods is his name. Lawyers say after carrying the burden of his decisions for decades,